Hello everybody, Blue Dooley. We're doing the last video of 2024. However, we are on a new camera, so that is why the focus and frame size looks a little different. I'm gonna probably play around with those settings a little bit, but right now we're on a DJI Action 4. I think in this video, instead of actually working on something since it's the last video of the year, I thought we'd actually go through some highlights of this year, some of the builds, some of the places I went, some other random things we'll throw in here. But again, last video of the year, so hope everybody's year went a little better than mine, because mine certainly could have been a little smoother. But let's jump into some clips and kind of review what happened this year. Now we'll start off with probably the video that did the best this year, and that was Mom driving the snowplow. And I still chuckle every time I watch it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad she decided to play along with me.
Hey, look at that! It actually plows snow. Oops.
Probably got to give it more throttle. There you go.
Don't go into the snow plow, I'll get stuck. Okay, now wait a minute. Turn around.
You got to raise the plow up.
Raise the plow up. Gosh, I can't believe how fast it goes. Turn.
Yep, your turn.
Come on. Oops. How come I went backwards? Because you went backwards. Fool.
Next up, we're going to have, of course, the FMS K10 Chevy, which I 3D printed the bumper and the roll bar for and completely repainted it, stripped all the chrome off of it. The paint didn't turn out quite as nice as I would have liked, but overall I'm really happy with the way it looks. It kind of looks a little better from a little bit of a distance than up close, but 3D printing that roll bar, I'm pretty proud of that. It's not perfect, but it looks good. Next clip, of course, the Boise Roadster Show. James made it out with me, and this truck wasn't even inside the show. Just seen it out in the parking lot. An HJ Customs 7.3 supercharged Godzilla F100. Damn, that truck looks good. I've seen it in a few other videos. I think it was up for maybe the Good Guys Truck of the Year build. Not 100%, but I've seen it at a few other shows, videos. And the truck is killer. It's just a sweet looking truck. The other thing at the show was this rotary powered motorcycle. And it's kind of one of the reasons I like coming to the Boise Roadster Show, because there's at least one or two things that I haven't seen, maybe only in a photo, but never seen in real life. So following the Boise Roadster Show, we went out to Indian Springs, the Magic Valley Rock Crawlers group, and did some crawling. I didn't make it out to as many crawling outings as I would have liked this year. I kind of got sidetracked primarily by builds. The 53 hauler took up quite a bit of time, and futzing with the truck, the semi-trailer took a little while. So maybe this year we'll try to get out a little more, do a little more crawling. But always enjoy going out with these guys, and we have a good time. I could have the audio playing here, but it was so windy this day. The only thing you hear is the wind. You don't hear the trucks, you don't really hear us talking at all. It was just a really, really windy day, but still a good time. Of course, we also have to have dumbass drivers on dash cam. Like this guy.
Wow! Bravo! Absolutely.
And I just realized that the song
driving
on the
right
radio
there.
is called I'm a Loser, and it's really fitting.
Driving down the fucking turn lane. Dumbass. Good job. Good job.
Now this one I really don't know how this guy managed to grind that much K-rail in a Peterbilt, but it's kind of impressive. But don't worry, I got a couple of dumb motorcycle riders too, so I don't want to feel like I'm singling out just car drivers and four-wheelers. Motorcycle guys, some of you are also poorly represented. Now back to RC project-wise, rewired the grand hauler completely and added the lift axle to it. In this little clip here, I'm talking about how I got the micro servo stuffed in that 3D printed hydraulic tank, and kind of show how much travel it has. I am really happy with the way it turned out. I really like my hydraulic tank. It hides the servo really well. It allows the axle to travel really well. Plus, there's two plugs that you can't see in right here. So it's really easy to plug in a trailer to the receiver because I ran some extensions out to it. Makes running channel 9 and 10 real easy for trailer functions. Then of course I had to get it ready for Dig Days this year. Ed of course hosted it again, and I struggled a little bit this time. I lost the pin out of one of the drive shafts on the snowplow, and this first trailer is actually built really scale. The kingpin plate can pivot. The problem is the kingpin plate can pivot enough that at certain angles the trailer fenders up there over the drive axles were rubbing the drive axles, causing the truck to get stuck. Right here is a prime example of that. So we switched trailers, and there you can actually see the extension going into the side of the hydraulic tank there. And like I said, I have two plugs in that spot, so I can run two trailer functions really easy. The coiled thicker cables are to run my trailer functions when I get the trailer built. But enough of a breeze. It wasn't too bad out there this year, and I still had a good time despite having some truck problems. The grand hauler just wasn't really, it just kept getting stuck. And the snowplow performed really well until I lost an E-clip and the really tiny pin out of the U-joint came out. I found most of the U-joint and the little chunk of drive shaft that fell out of the truck, but we never found one of the pins, so still need to fix that. But running the hydraulic equipment is a ton of fun too. I could sit around playing with those all day, and yeah, I had a good time even with the truck breakdowns. Hanging out with these guys, also a good time. Thanks to the smaller camera, the Insta360 Go 2, I got a little onboard footage from the cab of the snowplow. Unfortunately, the camera didn't stick, so I didn't get a lot of footage. But I think I have figured out how to make a little more secure mount for that camera in this cab of the truck, because the perspective is kind of neat. I mean, the gauges don't have any detail, and the steering wheel doesn't move, but it's kind of a neat perspective, I think, and kind of a little more fun. But this was, yeah, I gave up on the grand hauler, so I was driving the snowplow, and I drove the snowplow until the drive shaft came apart. But the camera falls off here, and I move it to the outside, except I forgot to stop recording, so the camera didn't rotate, so I rotated the image. That's why it's in this kind of aspect ratio instead of a normal aspect ratio. But we at least got the truck dumped out. Also, another good show is the iFarm Antique Truck and Tractor Show. And I only got a couple short little clip of a couple of antique tractors. As we're going to start off with an old Ford, and then we go to a nice newer Pete. The show's kind of neat because most of these trucks are pretty much working trucks, as opposed to the Southern Idaho Truck Show, where they have it's a pretty even mix between show truck and work truck. But out at the iFarm show, you get a lot more work trucks. And this was one of the rare trucks that I've never seen in person before, and I didn't even know Diamond T made a cab over. So spotting this thing was really, really awesome. I texted a couple photos to a few of my truck driver friends, and only one of them had ever seen a cab over Diamond T before as well. And he's pretty old, so he's been around the block a few times. But yeah, the iFarm Antique Truck and Tractor Show is it's an enjoyable show. It's affordable to get in, and like I said, you never know what you're going to see out here. This old GMC bubble nose, pretty nice truck. And then it's got a couple of antique tractors on the gooseneck behind it. But I always try to make it out to the iFarm show and the Southern Idaho Truck Show. The Boise Roadster Show I try to make it to. And the Joe Mama Car Show, which is in August, also try to make it to. But iFarm, definitely not one of the bigger shows because it's kind of close to a couple of other shows. So this year I think the turnout wasn't quite as good as it has been in years past. And I don't have any audio because, again, the wind was blowing. I had a lot of wind noise this year. This year was also kind of interesting because the Idaho Chariots Car Show at the park in downtown Twin fell on the same day as the Southern Idaho Truck Show. So I spent all day wandering around, taking pictures and videoing cars and trucks. It was a nice day. The Idaho Chariots Car Show, they also do a charity thing as well. But spotted this old Pace, and I like the old stuff, the weird stuff. I'll walk past a whole line of Corvettes, Mustangs, and Camaros, and you'll see something like that. This was the other big score this year for at least taking pictures and video and trucks. A Dodge Bighorn semi-truck. They only made 350 total in the 4 or 5 year run they actually built the Bighorn. So spot one of these was really, really cool. We also rebuilt the turbocharger on the truck this year, and that went fairly successfully. I struggled a little bit getting a couple of things put back together, but for the most part it went well. Haven't had any problems with the turbocharger since rebuilding it, and it's not leaking oil in the intake anymore, which is why I rebuilt it in the first place, as it was leaking a little bit out that front seal. So new seals, new bearings in the turbo, so the truck is good to go. The only thing I really had an issue with is the snap rings for those bearings. The holes in those are very, very small, so I actually had to grind the tips on my snap ring pliers to actually get them to fit in there to take those snap rings off. But that was kind of interesting. Also this year, I got my Kyosho USA running again. The OG monster truck that competed against the Blockbuster way back in the 90s. In this video, of course, it does break, but I redesigned and reprinted some parts for it, and the truck seems to be pretty solid, but I just can't tell you how happy I am to have this truck running again. And here we are at the Joe Mama car show, and we got a Corvette, a Mustang, and a Viper. I haven't seen too many Vipers at car shows. They're not as popular as other cars, so this was pretty neat to see this one. And again, the Joe Mama car show has a pretty big turnout for being in Jerome. Lowriders, pickups, street rods, rat rods, imports, just a really wide variety of vehicles to check out at the Joe Mama show. Like this Bronco, fantastic Bronco. And they also did, of course, the loudest muffler competition, which we'll skip to the vehicles. And if you're wearing headphones, I would recommend turning them down before we get past this Bronco, because the loudest muffler is really loud, and the GoPro struggled to pick up all of the volume. But again, the Joe Mama show, it doesn't cost anything to go check out the cars at all, which is awesome. And the turnout, again, really, really big. But this Bronco is pretty sweet. On to loudest muffler. This is the last warning to turn your headphones down, because it is going to get loud. So do turn your volume down if you're wearing headphones. Of course, the big project this year was redoing the 53 hauler. Clear body, so I could do my own paint, custom mirrors, lights, bumpers, sound. It took up quite a bit of my time this year, but I'm mostly happy with it. I wished I could have done a little better on the paint and a little better on my decals, but pretty happy with the build. I mean, it's definitely a lot different than what a lot of other people have done with this particular platform.
Using the dash cam to film because I hadn't expected to be up someplace like this today.
I didn't do much filming at work this year. The GoPro, the outer lens that kind of protects the actual camera lens is broken, so I didn't take it to work as much, and the couple of things I really wanted to film really didn't have the time, or it really wasn't in a place I could do much filming just because of the way trees and situation and stuff went. So I did get a few dash cam videos, getting in some narrow spots this year. With a new camera, I think I am going to try to remember to bring the camera with me to work more, just so I can film those more unique places I go. And I do go a lot of really pretty locations. This one here, it was a really pretty drive up to Island Park, but we're primarily on a little bit better than a Jeep trail. But these two were real tight to get in. And the other one I could have filmed that was really tight, I couldn't even get in. The truck and trailer were just too long to get anywhere close to where I needed to be.
Yes, I realize we're out here in the weeds, but I need to miss that tree with the trailer. Let's go manual. Keep you in third here.
All in all, fairly okay year. Like I said, I had some downs and fought with stuff at work quite a bit, and just had some really difficult deliveries, paint problems with the Kyosho, paint problems with the hauler. So hoping next year things go a lot smoother. I already have some parts in for some upcoming projects. I got RC Everyday shop truck chassis we got to build, trailer to build, CXT stuff to do, so be sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.